I'm going to be giving you my top 7 tips or 7 things I wish I knew before having a baby. Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. If you're new here, my name is Skye and I'm a first-time mum to a beautiful baby girl. Majority of my videos are sit-down chats like you're just hanging out with a friend in your lounge room and just talking about motherhood. I'm so excited for today's video because I'm going to be giving you my top 7 tips or 7 things I wish I knew before having a baby. It was really hard for me to narrow down to just 7 things because there are so many things I feel like I could have included in this video, but I'm probably going to be here all day. But these top 7 things I wish I knew, they're things that I had no idea whatsoever about before having a baby, which is why I'm wanting to share them with you today. Tip number 1, and that is it gets easier as time goes on. Those first few months can be really, really hard. You are so tired, you're feeding 24/7, you're not really leaving the house too much, and you are just in the thick of the newborn days, and yeah, you can't help but think, is this going to be my life forever? Now, let me tell you, it's not, and it does get easier. Now, I don't mean it gets easy. I think being a parent is hard and it is hard work, but it does get easier. For example, awake windows, they start to increase. So it's a little bit easier for you to get out the house because your baby will start to stay awake for a longer period of time. You start to get to know your baby better and you know their cues. So there's so much less crying. You know when it's hungry or if they've got a little bit of gas or if they're tired. You really start to get to know your baby as time goes on. So those types of things just make it so much easier as the time goes on. You start to find a little bit of a groove and a little bit of a routine, and whether you are strict on a routine and times and things like that, or if you're like me and you kind of just go off awake windows and just read your baby's cues, either way, you generally start to get a little bit of a routine. So you kind of know, all right, if they wake up at this time, they're going to be going to sleep at this time, and I might be able to get a little bit done around the house or have a little bit of time to myself. Compared to the newborn days, you don't know what day it is, you don't know what time it is, you are just living and breathing your baby 24/7 as you should. But yeah, as I said, this tip is it gets easier. Trust me, it does, and it just keeps on getting better and better and better. Tip number 2, and that is don't be afraid of starting a bad habit. Now, what I mean by that is you hear so often from people, oh, don't rock your baby to sleep because you're going to create a bad habit, or don't feed them to sleep, you're going to be creating a bad habit, or don't do XYZ because you're going to create a bad habit. Let me tell you, you're not going to create a bad habit with a baby. They're not manipulating you. They're not trying to, control what you do, or, if they do it like this, then maybe they might get this. They're a baby. If they're hungry, they're going to tell you. If they want you to cuddle them or sleep with them, they're going to tell you. If they want you to feed them to sleep, they're going to tell you. And by telling you, I mean crying. So don't be afraid of starting a bad habit. Listen to your baby, trust your instincts, and do what feels right. And block out that outside noise, because only you know your baby and only you know what is best for your baby. Tip number 3, and that is babies do not need a lot of clothes. It is so easy if you are a first-time parent to want to go out and buy the cutest little shoes and your bows and your whatever it is. But they do not need a lot of clothes. The clothes that they're going to need, I truly believe this, are 2 things. They need zipper onesies, the ones with the zipper. Don't be buying button onesies because they are just a nightmare when you're changing. And yeah, when you're trying to change your baby, a zipper is the easiest way to do it. So you're going to need a zipper onesie, and I would say like a onesie singlet. So the ones that have the buttons at the bottom, so it's like a full piece singlet or long sleeve, whichever, to go underneath their onesie. And they're pretty much the 2 items of clothing that you're going to need. Of course, most people are going to buy more than that, but if you are on a budget or if you don't know what to buy and you're trying to be a minimalist and not overspend and overbuy things, 2 pieces of items and that is it, because that's all they're going to need. Tip number 4, and that is you cannot spoil a baby. You cannot do it. No, what anyone tells you, you cannot spoil a baby. So cuddle them as much as you can. Sleep with them if you want to. Hold them all day, wear them all day. Whatever you want to do it, because you cannot spoil a baby. Babies are designed to be nurtured, loved, and taken care of. That's why babies are the only mammal who are born with 25% of their brain, because they physically cannot function without the help of someone else. So make sure you love them and cuddle them and just have them close to you, because you cannot spoil a baby. Now, when your baby is crying for you through the night, during the day, whatever it is, they are not trying to manipulate you. All they're saying is, I want mom, or I want dad, or I want whoever is there looking after me to come and nurture me and cuddle me and either feed me or just give me some love. So you can't spoil a baby. Have them close with you as much as you can, because all we want is for our babies to be happy, content, and know that they are loved. So no matter what you read or what you hear, keep that in mind, especially as a first-time parent, because it is easy to think, is my baby supposed to be in their bassinet? Are they meant to be in the cot? How do I get them in there? Is there something wrong? Is there something wrong with my baby because they don't want to be put down ever? No, there's nothing wrong. They just are being a normal baby and they want to be held and nurtured 24/7. Tip number 5, and that is everything is just a phase. Now, what I mean by that is how you're doing something one day or 1 week most likely is not going to be the way that it's going to continue forever. Now, it is so easy to think that just because I'm doing something a certain way now, is this going to be like this forever? Or, my baby keeps on waking up at 11 o'clock every night, screaming the house down, or whether it be at 5 in the afternoon, is this going to be like this forever? And let me tell you, it's not. Everything's a phase and it passes. One thing for me personally is we went through a phase of the only way my daughter would have her afternoon nap, and that was if I started vacuuming. Now, it sounds bizarre, I know, and I don't even know how we got to the point that we knew this, but for an entire week straight, every afternoon nap, I would hold her and I would vacuum the house. She would fall asleep and then I would put her in her cot. It was the only way to get her to sleep. Now, during that week, I thought, I can't do this forever. Like, what happens if I'm out and about? Like, what happens when she's 2 and 3 or whatever age it is? Like, how am I going to carry her vacuum? And it's easy to have these thoughts of, is this going to be like this forever, or is it just a phase? And let me tell you, it is just a phase and everything passes. So whatever situation you're in, always remember that it will pass and it will change. So please try to remember that when you are in the thick of whatever phase it might be, that it will pass. Tip number 6, and that is that motherhood can be lonely. Now, whether you have friends or not who are having babies or have had a baby at a similar time to you, either way, it can be quite lonely. It's so easy to feel a little bit isolated, especially when you are at home a lot of the time. Now, look, everyone's different. Everyone has different lifestyles, but I'm talking sort of at the beginning when you do have a baby, you might be out and about doing things, but you're not going to be out all day, every day, because first of all, you're going to be exhausted. Second of all, that's not what you or your baby would want, because you would be so exhausted. But it's just, you can feel isolated because you are at home a lot of the time. Now, things that I have done and things that helped me at the beginning, and that is I have a beautiful mothers group. Now, we only catch up once a week, but we also talk through message throughout the week. So it really helps you not feel so alone, because there's always, it feels like there's always someone who's going through something similar to you or has been through something that you have been through. And it's just so nice to be able to talk to another mum who is, I guess, a mum and knows exactly what each of you are going through. Now, I know that's easier for me to say because I have got a mum's group and some women aren't so fortunate to have one. But I think the best thing to do to be able to not feel so isolated and so alone, and that is just to sort of reach out to anyone, and whether it be for help or just a conversation, so you don't feel so isolated and so alone. My last tip, and that is tip number 7, and this is something I had absolutely no idea about. So that is, it is an emotional roller coaster. Now, when I was pregnant, I got told so many times, wait till you have a baby, you're going to be tired. Now, I totally understand that because you are tired, but no one ever said to me, it is an emotional roller coaster. This is something I did not expect and I had no idea. Your hormones are all over the shop. You are tired. You can feel alone and a little bit isolated, and you care and love so much for your baby, but you can't help but worry about them. So it is so emotional and such a tough time. And for me personally, those early few months were really, really hard for me emotionally. I've kind of spoken about it in my previous videos, just around my breastfeeding journey and all of that. And I think that was a huge triggering part, but just everything else that comes with motherhood, and that is sort of worrying, making sure your baby's okay. Are they fed? When they are crying or upset, is it, you know, do you know what's wrong? Can you help them? Or is it something that you feel like you don't know what is going on? So there's so many reasons for you to feel emotional. I wanted to put this point in about it being an emotional roller coaster, because if you are a first-time mum, know that this is completely normal. You will have days where you are on top of the world, and you will have other days where you are not so much and you are not feeling sort of like yourself, and you start to have sort of, you know, thoughts around things that aren't so positive. Seek support and seek help if you need it. But yeah, we're all just out here trying to do our best and be the best version of ourselves so we can be the best parent that we can. I hope that me sharing these things with you is going to help you through your motherhood journey ahead. Now look, as I said at the beginning, there are so many more things that I think I could have said, and who knows, I might make another video down the track to sort of elaborate on some more and add in some other things that I guess I think might be helpful to other parents out there, but these are things that I had no idea about, which is why I wanted to include them in this video. If you do like this video, please give it a thumbs up because it really will support my channel. And if you do want to subscribe, click up above and hit that button because it really is going to support me and help me continue making more videos to come. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.